8 of the greatest warriors of all time. Gaius Julius Caesar. Caesar, who is considered to be the best general in Roman history, originally held the positions of quaestor and praetor before being chosen as consul and proconsul in 59 BC and establishing the first triumvirate with Pompey and Crassus. He made a name for himself by organizing campaigns in Germany, Britain, and Gaul, but the Senate became alarmed by his rising influence and ordered him to disband his army. He was made autocrat for life in 44 BC, but this position was short-lived because he was stabbed by a group of his friends and wards on the Ides of March 15, 44 BC. Strangely, the Roman Senate objected to his style of government, which led to one of history's most infamous betrayals, Julius Caesar's execution. Alexander the Great. Alexander, arguably one of history's greatest generals, expanded the Macedonian monarchy from Greece to India, or nearly the entirety of the known globe at the time, through conquests. His early years were spent learning under the instruction of Aristotle after his birth in 356 BC. His early military career was devoted to rescuing Greece from the Persians. Due largely to his fast tactical thinking and his devotion to the soldiers who fought beside him, his army suffered significantly fewer casualties throughout his reign than did those of his adversaries. Attila the Hun. Attila the Hun was born in what is now Hungary and rose to become one of the region's most terrifying and merciless rulers. According to historian Edward Gibbon, he was notorious for his fierce gaze, and he frequently rolled his eyes as if pleased with the fear he instilled. He also frightened his opponents by claiming to possess the sword of Ares, the Greek god of battle, and judging by his vicious strikes and battles against the Roman Empire, his intimidation tactics were effective. Richard I. Richard I was given the moniker Lionheart for his outstanding bravery and combat prowess. With the aid of his strong mother, Eleanor of Aquitaine, the Duke of Normandy and the Count of Anjou overthrew his father, Henry II, and took the throne of England in 1198. When Richard learned that Saladin had successfully conquered Jerusalem in 1188, he decided to take up the cross. In his remaining 5 years, he devoted them to retaking the kingdom from his brother John and fending off Philip's incursions into Normandy. Leonidas I. The early years of Leonidas are hardly recorded, while he is best remembered for his valiant final stand in the Battle of Thermopylae. Yet, legend has it that he was a Heracles' ancestor. Around 490 BC marked the beginning of his reign, which he shared with Leotychides in accordance with the Spartan tradition of the period. When Leonidas learnt of the betrayal, he sent most of his troops on their way, only keeping the 300 Spartans who served as his personal guard. Up until the last man, Leonidas' 300 men bravely repelled the Persian advance. A few months after that, at the Battle of Plataea, the Spartans drove the Persians from Greece after Leonidas was killed and his body was beheaded and crucified. This only served to infuriate his fellow Spartans. Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi, one of the most well-known samurai in Japanese history, was the best swordsman of his day. Musashi was brought up in the Shoryin temple by his uncle after being born in the province of Harima in 1584. He had defeated Arimaki Gai, a student of military techniques, in his first duel by the age of 13 and had won it. He excelled as a painter and writer later in life. The Book of Five Rings, his most well-known piece of writing, is an account of his entire sword-fighting career, including strategy, tactics, and philosophical considerations. Hannibal Barca. Our list of the most legendary fighters continues with Hannibal Barca. The approximate birth date of Barca is 247 BCE in North Africa. Military historian Theodore Herodotus dubbed him the father of strategy, and he developed a strong enmity for the Romans as a young boy. He was among the most skilled combatants of the Carthaginian armies that fiercely opposed Rome in the Second Punic Battle. Hannibal, a brilliant strategist, created outflanking strategies. His expedition began in the spring of 218 BC when he used an army of 46,000 troops and 37 war elephants to battle his way over the Pyrenees and the Alps. Sun Tzu. The warrior who possesses both mental and physical strength is the strongest. The first and most complex treatise on military theory ever written was written by Sun Tzu. Between 770 and 476 BC, Sun Tzu worked for the Wu dynasty as both a general and a military strategist. He was able to write the well-known book during China's Warring States era, a time marked by power struggles between 7 states, because to his knowledge in both professions. The Battle of Boju between the Wu state and the Chu state, in which the Chu state was soundly defeated, is considered Sun Tzu's greatest success. Sima Qian, the author of Records of the Grand Historian, further added that Sun Tzu was an unbeatable force of both intelligence and might, having never lost a war in his 40 years as a general.